Je mag de eerste vraag wel stellen.
Okay. Could he tell us his name and where he is from and how old he is?
Chief na bol ma yule ka yele an yi tenshena da sa yan yule ka yan bol ka wuha yuma
yulun bona zubli la tia kan le dir kamon na ile kan yuma nye yum peta yinka ka yizam zo
that he's called Zeblim Tia. He's the chief warrior of the community and he's 29 years old and he's from Zamzugo.
Do you have that, Terry? Yes, that's good. Okay. And what does a normal day during the week look like for him?
Ne biaga nege kama tumbo ka kutum de biago pufuna.
Biani putuma kantumna.
As a farmer, I'm always occupied with my farming activities.
What does he farm? What kind of crops?
Boka kwara. De ben boka batapun.
Mbata sankafa.
Rice,
nakawuna,
maize,
tapahanyule,
and then yams.
And can he tell with whom he lives?
Ne ambe lokshelma a young man amongule bien.
Manam pagba nirbai nem bihai.
I have 2 wives in my compound and then 2 children currently in my house there.
And apart from farming and family life, what are the things that he likes to do? Maybe in the evening?
Nadi nan karanyela abachangla puni. Dia kam na kamna pabe na kafila ne halden na kabe be tun den ka to nan da
pa. Mandie ko yi punu kuna mpun jingla katna kafila. Mbaza mal kamanda gban le buku bebe kam na le de pune ngure sa shel kama filanti en kana man pawsan.
But he's saying that mostly after his farming activities, back at home, if the women too are very busy, he certain time referred to his reflex circle activities because they have their jotters that they put their activities and then their words that they learn from it, so that you also look at those things and then learn small from that.
Did he grow up in this community?
Ne ayaka zuwe.
Nzula dubli
That he was given birth in another community closer to Zamzugo called Adubliyire. That was where they gave birth to him, but this place is his community. But the parents gave birth to him at Adubliyire.
And can he tell us something about when he grew up, if it was possible to go to school?
Na banda doa ka zorna. Shukuru vula ka bchan shukur. Dra jim kama anto chan yi zaksima be shukur chen dra nyela mosu ka to chan shukur.
Ndaba zakse. Nlam manda nkabnume. Dan da cheka shukur wa chen nang tom zantuma.
It was very difficult for my family to enroll me in school because they were complaining of the school fees, how to cater for my education, and they also think it was not very important.
And
Ik ga gelijk aan die groepen gaan hoor.
ja, ik wilde eerst nog even over zijn vrouw vragen en dan naar die groepen gaan. Okay. We heard that unfortunately one of his wives died during childbirth. Can he tell us what happened?
Ne bade lahbal ne apagabane sorayan dokkaka. Nan to tite de lahbal be.
Nitu.
Yes, I can tell.
Nitu. Dran nung maka o westra. To amanda ku bia pupulo ntukuna ka be yelma won westra sham.
It happens that I was in the farm when information came. A bicycle rider came to me and then informed me that my child was laboring at home. So they wanted me immediately to come back and then see what was happening.
We have TBA
days at the community. So they were there attending to my wife.
To ka mala so kama zan chan yung sa sha ha won dwa.
So I was thinking that, and I was aware that even if she's going to give birth, it will take time. So I was expecting that maybe by night she might have given birth. So I was still at the farm.
Zan chan la sa ma ha ka dwa ma tung de tung man kama dwa ma ku to dwa la sa.
So when I came back in the evening, I realized that she was still laboring. So we didn't know what to do then.
Tu mo ka shi ti yung.
We don't have a clinic close by. We don't have a clinic close by.
Ka a shift ma mi shi wa ni yung.
The clinic from the community is far.
Ka ni la che ka ten zang tin ye chang la che ka te zang ba le nta.
And then means of transportation too is another problem. So usually we put them on the back of our bicycles. Even when they are laboring, we put them on the back of our bicycles and then ride to the clinic.
De daba ta dale.
We waited for 3 days because we wanted just to struggle and see whether she could deliver at home.
Ka yimma te che ka de bien lang bang baza.
The blood was coming out in such a way that it became serious. It was just flowing.
Ka tra zang che baglo. Ne te chang ka dupala ha te dupala na ka.
So there was no any alternative than to put her on the bicycle.
And this was after 3 days?
Yes. So they put her on the bicycle. So before they got to the main road, they realized that it was all over.
Katala zung lab kuna nda ta zan so.
To return the wife back home and then bury the family.
To randa kana shamba.
That was what happened.
And how did you feel when that happened?
O da hal zung ni na larga.
Up to now, I still think about it. And usually I would memorize and I don't even know what actually happened.
And was he angry or sad or?
Then the answer Sura Yaksima be Drana ala Subahu be Wulakada.
Subahu kardat dranang ma. Twang binyen sunya yahba so zo.
Because the only thing that you do if he's angry is he's going to be angry with God because God is the creator. So he was not angry, he was only worried and sad.
And do you think this could have been stopped or prevented
Actually, it was an afterthought. They realized that clinic would have been the best thing to do from the first day, but they didn't because at home there were no options apart from the TBS.
Yeah. And why didn't you go to the clinic in the first place? Weren't you aware?
Yelanda gatna ashut ma chenne. Mprombo shepun dwar ka ti tela ko gba han numa san chang la tama won dwa. To la sab ka tra male. Ka ti ban wo kulan dwa ma azal ma makana.
What actually happened that they are aware that they have to send them to the clinic. And then also what actually happened was that it was the thinking that once the other woman would have given birth at home or delivered at home, she could have also delivered at home. So they were wishing that that could happen. And also they were thinking that sending her to the clinic may need some finance or money. So that was the thinking. So they decided that let's wait and see. So the wait and see attitude is there in the community.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to get her to the clinic, to transport and to get there? How big is that problem for finance?
No, I stop 1 second. Then we restart.
na pa so po.
So that time my pa yela ka clap. We can go back. To net pilma.
To
How much is it to
Ne ashipte. Te yela na la til bi ashipte na pa hambo pu. Ashipte ala kadirian zan chante bi ashipte na pa yo wal sira. Ne lori charge ye to ala ka ti hanna don ku. Gana la gara pu.
kana la pun donc million balan
That he cannot actually estimate, but it will be a lot.
and is it more the finance part that prevented him to go to the hospital, or the wish that it would be okay at home?
Ne akpa hamo puno logoro wonda che ka ba changa shipto be atti hapuno ndoka yung wonda nyere.
this zahada biama to anda kalgre to manda kalgre ma kara tare pashele na you kon won do ayinga
That it actually happened that the wish, we had the wish there, and then we also think the finances were not there. So they were two things altogether.
Yeah.
So and he was wishing that if she gives birth at home, then it will save them.
Yeah.
So that was it.
He said that he is participating in reflect circles. Can you tell how that works? What they are doing?
Ne ayela na biela yon shukuru. Circle ma puni. Wula kara nanda.
te worle me dagbanle
It's taught,
ka karnda
it's taught in Dagbanle, and we learn everything in Dagbanle, but not in English.
And what do they do? What do they learn?
No boki nanda boki buhanda.
te bohne la kamane sabta polo sabte to ta bohne le pune ka bohne kamane din tun kamane te zahne bezahne papu sham de zahaye to ayirna te karma pune.
Mostly what they do is that if you look around their compound, you see that it's not all that tidy and neat. So they prioritize sanitation first. Then after sanitation, they look at SRH issues. And then especially about post-antenatal and then antenatal issues. Because he is interested in that because he has seen what it happened to him, what actually happened to him.
Yeah. Okay. And is he? How many people participate in this reflect circle?
Yimbe reflect circle ma yinirba alambere ni apam.
Te ka tini vok pishi.
They are 20. In a circle.
And does he speak with other people about what he learns?
Kama denda nanga shamba ambe circle aman ba to dirfi la zan chang denda nanga shamba.
Te to dir de fila.
Yeah, we do, especially when it comes to SRHS issue.
Can you give an example? Oh, I wanted to ask this.
Nan to yele kama fila shayin jinsan parapolo.
Ne to yele.
Yes, I can explain.
Ndirba la fila kama denda pa masham to ma din nyanga de tuya ka te gbaza kwant manka ban kpalam bandit lan nan karta pa ba kama ne denda pa masham ma.
Normally he speaks from experience, so you normally tell them that they should not wish or wait or say because of finances they cannot send their pregnant women to the hospital, because from the scratch they have to go to the hospital so that they have the antenatal care, then post-antenatal care, whatever the clinics, so that they will be aware if they are healthy, fine. If they are not healthy, then they will give them treatment, because he's speaking from experience. So normally he tell their friends that please, clinic is the best, not at home.
Yeah.
And what do they do to prevent problems from happening like before? Because like after 5 months there's the festival, right? That a woman is pregnant. But do they do something in the process between the last 4 months?
Kama apare ma puwa chiranu. Apa no wula ki nang da zang chang o chiranu a hal chirawe. Pumpon den nang shamba.
La sama kira nu ma san kyan kira wan sunsun to ku chen ko chen dote bakoi kan wo chen te zahma.
That after 5 months what they normally do is that they encourage them to go to the clinics, so that for antenatal, and then also the TBS are supporting them in that regard.
And how far is the clinic from here? Do they go on bicycle and how long does it take?
Ashiptuma waga ne bara cheche kaminta laki macha.
Cheche ka ti bara di waɣa.
They use bicycle to the hospital. It's far.
To a tin to chan hawa zaɣa mu ni.
You can use 1 hour to the clinic. An hour.
An hour
Yeah,
with the
riding
bicycle. With the bicycle.
Yes. And maybe with vehicle, maybe 30 minutes or 20 minutes.
Yeah. And can he say maybe what is the difference that he sees in his community since the start of the project of Singli and now?
Pompo similar ne kana ne sima fi shong sama. An kpahan tule hana pompo taba bian.
Taba bian.
Yes, there's a lot of changes. Then what are they?
No ku mbuho shi bin shak shanga ma da bin yahara shem ma za nya ka taba kana. Kaman sabta ma zang ta gba kaman pa pu ye twa pulun wa. Ne bihma ni sim zang pa bin dawo mi shanga namba nim za ganga pompo bin nya ka pilla bangbo. Ne sa shel ha den da pan biesha.
That for instance, as a family man or a father, this time when the children are even back from school, he can look at their school, what they did at school, and then he can also learn little from that. 1, 2, they have their women at the circle too. So they learn that when you are pregnant, you're supposed to go for clinic, that is antenatal, and then the rest. And then for now, they also have the TBAs who have actually learned from the project, and they are now referring people instead of even attending to them. And he, for instance, he advises friend when he realizes that your wife is pregnant, he advise you that, hey, let your wife go to clinic. So currently at the circle level, there are changes at the community because they have learned a lot from that. And this time too, he's saying that they don't have teenage pregnancies as it used to be.
They have less?
Yeah,
okay, yes. Yeah. And did he say all of that?
Yeah.
Did he say all
that
of
was
that?
what he said, and then said this time they have children.
Yeah.
And what time do they go for the first time for an ANC visit normally in this village?
Biyan chang antenatal kama pagadwa so zahamu wanda sa ka ba pina.
Biyan chang pa ashibtin hazahu be da yingma ashibtin ma.
Hospital. Be clinic.
Duk kaman bin sha'arin ba kira an na zan kana kira ni na.
That 4 to 5 months they start going to clinics.
And is that because of this tradition that they need to come out and do the festival to say that they are pregnant at 5 months?
Nodin yala banna ba farga bala zokki ce ka ba can kira nuwa be da kunyala yin le sha.
Katin bin dimin na farga ma.
When they are young, they have to follow the tradition.
So this for the first child?
Oh yeah, for the first time they have to follow the tradition so that they announce that she's pregnant before they allow her to go to hospital.
And did he hear anything about the importance to go a little bit earlier in pregnancy for a first checkup?
Nakara ala beto yere kama de tuyana pagai kunno pule kiri yende de tuno chan ashipti.
Ai be yara. Ba mun yarma tim bu kama ne ngunna nye pasar bla ka na opro ma. To kum mil ma kale ce ka ngunna ko paso la ka opro ka ce na cha. To ma ban pun do bana. To wumno ban yarta so to ban to cena sa shele
They are
dum.
aware of this and the awareness is there, but they still follow the tradition. With the first timers, they will leave them until 5 months. But this time, when you give birth, first and second, then you are allowed to go from the first month. They don't have problem with that, but it's only the beginners.
And can how we say? Could there be a solution to, for example, bring the healthcare to the lady to see them earlier? Could that be? Like, can you think of solutions to have that fit within the tradition?
That is the first timers.
Yeah, to see someone
after
earlier.
3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nakamwaya, Bahama Purati and Netun to Liabgale, Kapumpo, Kapama, yet Tulaba, Chirata Punoko, Pinchanga Shipton, Beka Shipton and Cartizan, not Tahapuni, Ulaka in Tahaneran Tona, Karkumal Mosugo.
din niŋ tom maa
it will be very difficult, but
ti mali a yi mali ninkurigu a dundɔŋ ni ka yɛn zaŋ o chaŋ la tun daa chɛbisi o ŋɔ kan chɛni o ma ku saɣi
that because if you
She
still
is
have
Sahma
an old lady or an old man in the house, if your wife is going to the clinic for the first time, they will ask why, and you have to explain, and they will not allow you.
shi daa dabisi maa ku paai
Until the time is up, they will say no. They still follow the tradition.
And does he have any role in, or did he ever discuss with these elders in his family about this and about what has happened to him and maybe the need for changes?
Me amina jela kambwana so ato dir kpamba ma be adwa ma na kpamba ma kama pumpon tagabi papa na na tagai karna to nan ka bi ma danga shipta na chanda do me di nan ko kala fi to ko to banshe clinic
nto diriba laazama ŋuna to diriba bɛ niŋ lɛt la baŋsim n gba tooi mali la dini ma yi kuli n gba tooi mali tiri la ninkura maa ya zuɣu bɛ di pahi suɣulo ka wumti ʒɛmana zaham maa ni yɛ shɛŋa yɛli ŋmali di naan sɔŋti n pam.
He's saying that change is a process. For instance, they cannot do it at once, but he do talk to them with his experience. But it will take time for them to understand. But things are changing a little bit from there.
And does he have any support from Simli 8 in achieving this? How does he feel about the support from Simli?
Similar nam kan na to song there. Zang para polo. Similar nam song there zang pa wula polo zang chang de polo. Kabin song there shama de na ya be song semana to Caribbean.
Song semana na tu nir pa. Ben shama to pa ma tu ni shama dina pa.
Kama bumbo.
Zang pa zang ma polo. Ti ya te ka ship ti pyango.
He's saying that Simle is actually creating the awareness, and that is good. So they now know that it's good for them to go to antenatal and postnatal. But it will
circle, for example, for awareness.
Okay, ne kama Simle nam ne kan nama. Antenan de na kpahma mi kon. Simle nam ne kan nama. Dinyanga shanga na bien kan na karnyela zangpa. Lala zambu papo na mai.
Shanga na blanc kana yaha. Na Simle nam dunwa.
Actually, about the SRH, it's about the Simile that they know and they create the awareness. But for now, they don't have any activities for that apart from the Simile.
Reflect circles. No, but is it only the reflect circles, or are there also community awareness raising?
Kama pumpon Simile no kumal circle ma kidian ma bible ma shaba kaba jirfila sang chang de pola kama na chimbla benda worship.
Lala biene.
Banama they have.
Banjiri azama zan chang zahma pulu ka bango de. Tim malala num ama tim yaka ta palala committee zante ama ta shaban yirse plate.
He said they have a committee and it's where they also talk about these issues. So I'm trying to probe and see which kind of committee. I'm trying to probe that. So committee where they have young men who talk about health issues, especially the SRA issues in the community.
And he also said that they talk about sanitation in the reflect circle. What did he learn about sanitation?
Year sabta ye toka circle ma puno boka buhanzan chan sabta ma puno circle ma.
The bomb command Shinsharoma the Tibu. Injibunya Shinsharan Film. Koma Blante Basa. Katu Mane, Titampia, Kajira in Yarbina Pira.
For instance, they don't have drainage system in their community. So if you go to their bathroom, you see water coming from outside. This time they dig pitch and then they put stones. Then they cover and then the water goes in there. So that when it fill up, they remove and clean it and then put it back. And for instance, you not see children just piecing around. They use a whole dig and then they'll piece in and then they'll cover it. But it was not that. First, you just see them using around, and then you just see water flowing around. But this time it's controlled.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they are aware that mosquitoes are there, and they can give them problem.
Yeah.
Torle no mo kuzang pa sarto apo la nyela kama to ko yurma de katin tashim kana zafia le she sansum
He's aware that once they are doing all these things, it's good they have good drinking water. And their water body too is nothing to write about. So they certainly have some waterborne diseases from that because they don't have potable water. So that is his concern.
Yeah. And do people treat the water in some way before using it?
Yeah, no, you come.
Maar dat is...
Wil je wel water wassen? Ook een boeken toch?
Ja, want het is wel voor zeg maar de portretten.
Nee, kadala kwamma, shawe tamdele kana nyura bebe kuto benyura bebe tiarle makanyura.
ti tiyar makanyura to ma dum zayo di to kunun kaman sahango manguna ai ce dama ni yama na duma be den tan kwama da burgiya kafe sa tlan mi karshe.
What actually happened that during the rainy season the water body is okay, and then they have filters that they filter. But even if you filter, you cannot filter out the urine of the cows and then the donkeys because they also drink from the same source, and the urine that they goes into the water. So with that one, you cannot change it. So they still have problems.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And does he have a wish for the future? A dream or?
Karate hana den no the shama tuna ha liap kum sem den be song sem den zan chang yin bu handa ben shama pole.
Tin la barabah na wono wunda ban yin mor na tsonta.
That there's future once there's God, and then there are people like you who are coming from somewhere to support them. They believe there's future.
I don't know if I understand it. That
you asked him whether he thinks there's future for them. He said yes. Once they have God, they know that there's future. And then once people like you are coming from outside to know their problems, they know that they have future.
Okay. But does he wish anything special for his own future or his family?
Bian bon come on bang babia ho disam dum set tie in gefin yala gar kama sa hon watin dishan.
We wish that one day they will be better off than him, because when the children are educated they will be better off than him. So he wish one day they will be better off.
And
kan je nog misschien vragen uiteindelijk of hij andere mensen kent die net zoiets hebben meegemaakt? Of hij de enige is met dit perspectief?
Ja, zal ik zo even vragen. And he says he wishes that his children, for example, will be better off than him. Can you say what in his daily life is difficult?
Kama yana bihma biyana kabasa biya atuni ati hana mamana biya sashen wadin le moksi ka nye kama moksu nyere ka kutuna sa moksi bihma biyana
di zoya
dena nye den there are plenty.
Try truly
First,
no bukarashi kuma tuni bihma bankan.
The education is a problem because he was not educated. He finds it very difficult.
Dama tuka nuni bobe bankaram dama din nan kama din da jesha mu wanguna shire na won bargati ga ne to liha kabcha.
And secondly, he always prays and works hard that he gets money and then the finances to educate his children.
So halin no bana in shi so korpuna duk ban yara mo kusanti makando bon reta pa bisha bangba dinya.
And currently he is farming manually with a hoe. So he's thinking that tomorrow if they are educated and they have jobs, they can have tractor and then harvesters to farm. So that are the changes that he's wishing.
Yeah. And maybe two last questions. Does he know other people who also had problems with childbirth during childbirth and who died?
I've heard, but not this place, not this community, somewhere.
And maybe last question, do you have any advice for people?
Na pumpon amal ayang bahandir go zogre ne shamzan chang ditanan ka pa welsera.
Mala din kan da pungile kamata shi nan to yarma to yaba.
Yes, mostly I even advise my peers and then colleagues. So let them san kamala.
No kuma shi turban yala kamane ma bi ban bien ma kamane so paila ma pule un pan o manka zahma to zahma.
The advice is about the antenatal. They should always try their best to support their women, even if they can send them to the clinic.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
No, his house there where we are in the city.
Okay.
Where he stays.
Can you ask him to clap his hands once? Just once. A little bit higher. Thank you. Now we can start. And you can just talk to him.
Well, I need to Google no shangama pumpo wula kanyere.
Oh, le non vient yela pa ka non te nyasa. Ni ba mama ni de on a pon kana ni te ka te truma ni chensham.
Bung mara video so ana ndanye chela no ma wo kale check no stable.
Can you ask him to introduce himself and to
Ambola yul na tenshan yina. Na yuma.
We bo Mohammed Awal. Kai Zanzona.
Aku yaran check face to camera there.
You can talk, otherwise you can speak to you.
Yeah.
To hear. It's okay. It's no problem.
That is
You can just talk to him.
Mohammed Awal and he's from Zamzugo. Kayuma. He's 18 years.
Okay. Wil jij de vraag stellen zo?
Ja, is goed. Can he tell something about his daily life, how it looks like?
Ne anto yelte kama birai ne anto tumle tun shanga biago tun. Ya kan no wa bian na hand to. Let's see whether if we can take con out.
You can ask the chicken to be silent.
Hey, keep quiet. One be share attend to about.
His English is bad.
No.
Bahama.
Thank you. Okay, we can start with
Mohammed, okay, I'm bola yule na yitin na yuma.
Yul bo Mohammed Awal. Kai Zanzona. Kai yun pie na ni.
I am Mohammed Awal. I'm from Zamzugo and I'm 18 years old.
What is he doing during the day? In a normal day, can you describe it?
Bokale nang da biare nege.
Nyela school.
I'm a school people. I'm a student.
Can you tell us what education you got? Primary school? Or?
Na biela durala.
Na biela GSS.
JHS 1, Junior High School, Form 1.
And are there many youth from your village going to high school?
Ne yimare na chimba pasara pam ka chane Junior High School ma be yiba gase.
Tavagasi.
We are not plenty.
And how does it come that he can go to high school and is not working like many young people do?
Ne aik pam kama titin smana na chimba pasara pam bian ba chan shukur pa an chan shamo Junior High School ma wula kanyin nan ha ta karam pala be alamban sonsa.
Lamba sonsa bien. Dan ba pamon che kan ta karanta pala.
It's through the support of my family, especially my parents. They want me to educate, and so they give me all that support. That is why I've gotten to that place.
Can he tell us his family situation with whom he is living at the compound?
Pumpong unsan ka be yidundong man be yibanam le be yidundong. I'm living with my mother and my uncles.
Uncles. And one of the uncles So, but no brothers and sisters?
They are plenty in the house. That is the brothers of the father. The father died. So ne family abula ki be galsim be yiporme. Dundong mana yelen pam pam. The family is a large family and they live in one compound.
Can you try not to talk with hands because you make the shade on
all right. Nare wora no.
So it's a big family living there?
Yeah, ne den family to tell. Yes.
And could he, in short, say who are living there?
Ne karanto yelte banam le bien ni mana dundong mana.
To give us the picture of the whole.
Ne ka yelte dundong mana bisham banchan shukuru ban korana bambe dundong mana.
Dundong wa ta gasya. Dama ma bien kan ngana ma yi bien dundong ma. Ne ba pa ba. Ka ce nin tuzo.
In the compound, I have my mother in the compound, my 2 uncles and their wives, and then my brothers and then sisters.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
Not brothers, but sisters, but
sisters, brothers.
I have 1 brother and then 1 sister, but the rest are my uncle's children. So they.
You may clap one more time. A little bit higher. Oh, no, with the 2 hands. I need to see 2 hands. Yeah, we can continue.
I heard in his family something happened.
Yeah.
Can he tell us what happened?
Ne ten pendi alzamshalla ne atila ban kama yan dila fila shape wulanda na. Yeah, I think there was a sister who traveled from the community to a capital city. Then at the capital city, she spent some time and then came back to the community. They suspected she was pregnant. And she said no, she was not pregnant. Then she started complaining of abdominal pains. They wanted to send her to the hospital. So they wanted means of transportation to send her to the hospital. So it was when they got the transportation that they realized that she passed away. They realized that she actually grind some bottles. You know bottle? Grind some bottles to powder. Added some concoctions and then took it and then left the rest there. And it was all because she wanted to abort. And actually this caused her death.
Heb jij dit verhaal achter elkaar nou?
Ja, dat wou ik precies gaan vragen.
Okay.
Can you ask him to tell the story one more time, but then in one time without you translating? Maybe it's better that they tell more and then you translate at the end to give us a summary.
One at a time.
No, not one sentence. You can tell if you can tell the
whole story. Without
for the camera. So you do not need to translate in between.
Okay.
Just at the end.
Okay. So I know Shamyala ko pilla story ma. Phone ngo lara. You I start la story ma. From ko pilla shamana halente ende. Kam mi ba translate la wala borna rakatre in between. So let's go.
Just tell to you.
Na ku yel ma kama antir ma kayar karira. Tumbor sham ka yarma so ku yel ne la karima.
En tu zo para pona pontiang boma. To ka to kuna ka te jesu no mala pua. Ko yel no ka pua. To ka devenir bien ko ode o kuro puna. Ka to ye te zo chang droite. Kana bor moto bi chichi ne te zo chang. Ti tien kana ka o pana o ka te le ko o bakse ko wa chera. On pana o na ka te nye ko wa chera ma ne bi ban. A she dun ko nyu. Ka de tu la barna ma. To droite mi ka kan sama so tra ba tu di nzo zo chang ko pala na o no.
That they have their sister who once traveled to the big city from the community, and we call this rural-urban migration. They migrate from the rural communities to the urban areas in search of jobs. So she went there and then spent. So then la ma wula karana nta chang.
Can you clap one more time?
Such I am. Oh, Torungwa de Yer Piharana.
Can you clap one more time?
Nak Bahaman.
Thank you. Yes. You can ask the question.
No. Next question. What is it?
Oh,
so now how do you feel? Kama wula karda nang kama dalama nara nang wula karda.
Oh, draben nang so piel.
Definitely you'll be sad and very sorry for what happened. So he was sad and very sorry. It was worrying.
If there are other ways of handling this kind of situation?
Nakarara di nang kalala benwama to biane. Dere maldin yan nang sham so tale.
Kama wenda nang sham.
Mama nara mal shanka kosa abortion kalala mana ne kama ni yul de madin na sham tale.
Pumpong obo. Pumpong de ni sen ne papil de piamna de pamadin de social and tal.
According to him, he wanted to probe more and see what way. So I asked him whether there was a way out. So he said that time they couldn't think of any way, but now that they've had the awareness, so I think this time they have a way out for that. So I'll ask what are the ways. Is that correct? So Pumpong wula ke na to tale.
Pumpong doctor nam patete label kan de bemal tar shaden de to tanira bi pa zampala bi yara put.
Because of the awareness creation, they now know that if somebody will have an unwanted pregnancy, you can still go for help so that they can abort it through the awareness that they have been gathering now.
And where would he go?
So near Poloko in Chang.
For help?
Capital Song.
At
the clinic. They call it doctor. That's why I say doctor at the clinic.
And does he tell other people about?
So nila man nang ma to did the fila at Tapsan Bia Saralan Tapsan. Yeah, we do.
Maybe he can say it in or he can give an example of somebody who shared he is sharing this with.
Kama anto di sore fila ula kara yel delana karnyala mandela ndila fila zampala la
to ibi bia pun ka yel bia ta pa nyem blan sura na wonre de paso ami ayen no shem tal de tuna gwa wodelan la so la ko dole ngbatal kar ku pao.
When any misfortune happens to you, you make sure that you protect others from that. So when he realized that, he started talking to other friends and then colleagues and then peers, so that if something happens in their family, they should take care and then know how to handle it. Other than that, they may lose that fellow. So usually he talked to people because that was his experience.
Yeah. And he's also a participant of the reflect circle?
Ato che reflect circle ma bia la de baye bahara puna. Yeah, it's part of it.
Can he say that he is participating in reflect and explain what it is?
Kayem biara puna ma bokato nonda kana to yelte den chen.
To bansa 1000 chang te dala fi bom ma pol ne te shapta bom te nyen no sham ka shapta bibia.
Because he's educated, he's part of it to support those who are there, and especially his peers. That is why he's part of it, but he's not there to learn. Because it's a community process. That is why he's part of it.
Yeah. And for me to know somebody of the community is facilitating it, and he's supporting.
So he facilitates too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe can you just ask him to tell how it goes, like when they meet, how often they meet, what they do, what they talk about?
Ye and circle meeting. Bondasa ki jinda ye nirba alam bier puno boki wuhra. Normal sessions are in the night. That is when they are off their farms. So they have their sessions in the night. So he's saying that the reflect is in Dagbanle. They don't teach English there. So it's local language. And also currently what they do is they talk about SRHR issues. That is what Simle told them to do, and that was the reason why they formed the circles.
Can you give us an example about what they talked last time?
Nantoti example last time we in Difila Shelly. Okay, yes.
Tragifia Zachang, Pai my poor, when no sham chantazan. Be we chantazan, Ian to Labesham. Can no Nelson go to chantazan.
That the last time they discussed was about the antenatal, and they were encouraging people to actually go to the clinics and then do that. And they also talk to each other, especially the men, to support their women so that they can go for the antenatal, because the clinic and this place is far.
Okay.
And does he see changes in the village regarding women who go to antenatal care?
To pumpo di nan karnyela zahamba ya to to nya taba zan chang de taya kan nirba pagaba chen clinic. Yeah, there are some changes.
Maybe he can give some examples or see what
Anto yelte mahan shanganya na taba shelanya.
The tar domin so min mai puwa ka ba mi kirshanga pulman dan pa so chanka ba tezamo bantu ntu kirshanga pulman pa be dinon ko mai puwa ha ti ndo ka izan chanta zam kan ye dom sa ba bantu do so do tan ko ma la fi.
That certain times some of these women find it very difficult to actually determine the number of months that their pregnancies are up to. So they encourage them to go to clinics so that they will know the actual months and then when they are going to give birth. So because of this, people are now going to the clinics to know when am I going to give birth, and then they prepare. So looking at this alone, they now have more women going to the clinic with the referral system too.
And can he say something about, I don't know if he knows, but how the women are received at the clinics? Are they satisfied about...
Bichanga shiptuma parma kuna betira laba nese na mana ndaba fitina be de biafian yala be babian yala.
Botte laba san chamba fitina pula. Don bi chamba zamba ka taba tishamba yanyur kam ba la fi hala ka tutu dwa.
They have their antenatal days that they go. And they've never complained to us that they have problems with the nurses. The only thing that they will bring to us is their medication. That they will say they've given them this medicine to take, and then.
And how do they arrange transportation?
So pumpo obi and changula kapchana yimala lor be yimala bus chichen be ula kapchana transportation.
Because lor, kuchen leton.
currently they don't have vehicles. Those that have means can pick their wife. Those don't have means, the women walk to the clinic.
And how long is it to walk there?
If you are walking to the next community, it will take you 1 hour. That is the chief's compound here. It will take you 1 hour.
1 hour walk.
Yeah, it's from here to the main road.
Okay.
Does he have a wish for the future?
Ne akpahambo pune. Amale ayan yeshe kama 20 popolo. Kama ati yu na biana tisa jongo. Be yongo sa jongo. Yes.
Ti pante mazan chang. Ti shukoto apol. De san sonte. Kata banye ni san pamzan chang. Bon wo ti shirong apol.
Looking at the education nowadays, because they have a school here and the enrollment too is increasing, so he believes in future they can also support their community with the education that they would get from it.
And the personal wish for himself, for his future?
Kama mana wula ka ati haratirama boka borna atebe we wula ka borna atebe. A future.
To borman nti mbia wota ta kama zo den na bishama ka gbaza ne to agbaza punu to biara tamba zo ka mala ne to yina te sonsham ka afane pitin banan.
The one he was given birth here in Zamzo, he's thinking that in future he will also do something for the community, and they actually know that education is good and they have educated their children. That may even help to educate others.
Okay, helemaal goed zo.
And one last question about the reflect circles, because he said he is facilitating them.
Okay.
But can he explain why it is important for the people in the community and how often they have the circles and what they do during a circle?
Ne kama ya ne community ma yi ma circle. To pumpon boki nan de circle ma pune. Akpa mu punda ma abiela de na wura. Be wula ki nan da den yan song de yi yon zan chan circle ma ne.
Temali mo pasa cha te buhamba ma pol. Kala gbar tin yan no sham. Mbor sabta te community ma. Ne nan ban yin.
He's saying that meeting at the circle alone indicates that there's unity in the community, because it's about bringing women and men together at a particular point, and that one is good for the community. And also they have been talking about sanitation at that level, and they also talk about their health issues, especially the SRHR issues, that they do that, and it's helping them a lot.
But they also get education, they learn to read and write?
Yen sabre ka buhande be reflex circle ma be de kunyala yidirla fila konko.
Does he know what happened to his sister when she was in the city?
Kamane yik zambo pune. Na bahama. Azambo pune. Sister ma. Are you okay?
Yes.
Azambo pune sister ma after investigation. I me ben shaden da no saf ma kat pulma tekana. Babe yale den da pulma ngun to pulma.
Maso mo kwanda so da abdul cha.
That actually when you went to the area and it happened, and then they came, they were investigating, but she didn't actually want them to know, but they did further investigations. So I mean it ya kama dinyo changni man ma bra la modono. So then son and yellow after investigation ma.
No,
one or abort me. Omenyela unwanted pregnancy. So mulera tole. So timeredia and kama onda changma shavanda gubbo.
Okay, don't worry, call us all that.
So after that, Ibla Hanya share. Okay. I was trying to probe further because she's told us that when they asked her, she was not willing to tell them what actually happened. But they said when the colleagues came, they realized that they have to do more investigation. And that one, he told me over there, but because we are in a crowd here, he cannot be.
No.
He don't want to
can do
talk
it
about
later.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any questions for me? No. Do you? Joe?
No.
I told you there were some questions we cannot.
Yeah. That's very good. Well, for now it's fine.
Yeah, so that we can continue with the
Yeah.
other one outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will do one question and I have to change battery. Can you clap again? Yes. Thank you, we can go. Please, you can. We can.
Mohamed Awal. Then the toilet and the mal question shama. So from here, terrible question. Yeah, what actually happened to your sister? Bulera no sister man after the investigation. I said we are continuing from where we stopped. So I'm now asking what actually happened during their investigation. What was the information that they had from that? So we'll continue from there. Wait.
Yeah.
I said.
Can you clap one hand? This one. Yes. We can do.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Can you tell us what came out of the investigation?
Ne ayela ne atizo parmanda kana na ira nan vego anto yelti yinda ve ne inda wumla bashare nungulera yele
Tera wumma kana de bogolo be ka to wum de bogolo ma ko kuma ka tan no ve o zan kyan shi ko bo no yele so kuma mi da na ba yipolo ka tilo to ban ka da ma de biene so ka tera no ve ma ko mi ba sai ko kara ta ba habin ma mi kara ta tila ba na ma dan ka tera ban yela ban ma shirbiyan ko mi ba yele ha le tan yula ban ma.
Now, according to the first information that they gathered, they told them their sister was raped in Accra, one of the big cities. So when they heard about the rape case, she came back and they were suspecting that she was pregnant, and then she said no. And they also wanted to know whether it was actually true that they raped her, and she didn't want to tell them. So after...
And who's them? The elderly people here?
Yes, that is
their family.
Their family.
The father.
Yeah, their family. So she didn't want to tell them. So when the unfortunate thing happened, they actually talked to some of her peers who were also there, and then they said actually they raped her. So it was there and then that they realized that it was the pregnancy was from the rape. So and that unfortunate thing happened.
And did they also investigate the abortion, how she did it? What happened then?
So yinda nang ma ka abortion ma bi onda yema yikpambo puna yira la vihro zobe yira ku no nyutim ma karkan
Vio kama o
abortion ma polo pulma yema polo yila kira vihla be yira ku yulun kama on yulma karkan
tra ko banka da fo wo yulma de bien ko le jeno yel kata wo abor no so ayel do tra blan no be ka kan de
karajim da yiro ton
jim da ye
that it was when they went in they realized that blood was oozing out from her private parts, clotted blood coming out. So it was there and then that they realized that it was from the abortion. And then also they saw the concoction that she mixed.
Yeah. And is that something that people do more often here, like mixing pieces of glass?
So karala chong also malpwa. On to mix ben ya no nyukare yi de to nan la be
upona ni ne sema papikan no de be hanon de la ba da ma ni ne da na ni ma.
It used to happen that way, but this time because they are aware of the clinics and they have more nurses and doctors that they are free with, they now talk to them more often than using the concoction.
Now, yeah. Okay.
But it used to be.
Yeah. Does he know any other examples of?
Antoti example shele kama ana min wumbe ana min nya zanchan kama so yen ye pulkatwi.
the two no about tung pong to pyong no to ma pyong.
That they've been hearing that it happens somewhere, but that was the only incident that they experienced in this community.
And where does he have any idea where his sister got the idea from? Did she go to somebody like a traditional woman, or did she invent it herself?
Your sister, I was running down and she be Sonda Tikwa, Sonda will be a Pambo Purungbang Kuzon Hankale.
Was one of them.
According to the investigation, it was one of their friends, and then they believe she was an eye opener than their sister, so they believe she gave her that information.
And actually, this also shows how important information from peers is.
Yeah.
So is he now sharing what he knows with other peers?
I cannot use to peer education. Nimanaka information chana ka nirbo wunda. So anye experience shall be anye sha ato year ataba. Yeah, we do talk to each other about it.
Can he maybe say in what way, or say something more about it?
Kama an yarlama kama to yar bin shazan parpolo kama de barna nan yasham na rafitina nan yasham di te panira.
Ma da mai barna da ma di non kan ni no la ba o to pon wonya ho. Sama barna ba.
That unsafe abortions, the serious thing about it is that definitely if you do it, you die. And then there's no any alternative than to go to the clinic. So he knows that with this one, it will be a very big blow to a family when you lose somebody from that issue.
So a big what?
A blow.
Blow. Yeah.
So actually, the whole family was affected.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, how easy is it to go to the clinic to ask help with ending the pregnancy? Is that something that you can easily ask to the health staff?
So ne awareness creation Maria is there the biane. So pumpon ata ni solo to chan clinic ti yelwa mala pwa yan yehle makaba ye to bia be mala social ben yan dole be ben yare wula ke mile.
From my social media.
Speak louder, young papa.
The two to Pamna to my Fuka to yell doctor no yen ko re yi say o ko don la o ma la social one yen dul caramel ba bi kan nan to di wono be de yema karabu kare yi ama di wono re yema.
He's saying that even though they are aware that this time you can go to the clinics, inform them about your pregnancy and they can help you to abort it safely. But it's not all easy, because you cannot just go and then knock at the door of the doctor and say, I'm pregnant and I want you to abort it, and then you start aborting it. No. There will be some kind of investigation, because it could be that you had a quarrel with your husband and you want to read over it. So the doctors will not just do it, they will do some sort of investigation. So that is not all easy.
Under which circumstances would they help you in the clinic? For example, in this case there was rape, but do you really need to prove that it is a rape?
So ne I cannot you ten bomba de nyala buku tono kar kanala ka ta kama den kana to chanti ye doctor ka ba yele kar nyala malje ma ka ne sa ya ba mo puno ko mo
ma den ya buku anto ye doctor dama anto ye doctor kama apa anto so pa ni chang bo ma ga ta pa wo shi ami mara do pa wa yen to hakut we sat la into chang nte njel doctor ma ka ba yele because yi be yele we don't la be bad into no course the three banner.
According to him, for instance, the rape case was one of the best cases that they can explain to doctors and they will understand. And that means either the family will pick a family member to go together with the girl. And before you even go, the girl will have to accept, I'm pregnant, one. Then she will accept that I would like you to abort it too before you go to the doctor. Other than that, if you get to the doctor and you say different thing and then your sister too says different thing, they will not agree with that. And also, it's very good to abort such pregnancies because when they give birth to such children, definitely you have problems with them. Nobody would like to take care of such a child, and then they may be nuisance in the community. Once they don't have the good foundation, they don't have the support from family, definitely they will be wayward. So it will create problems in the community. So such cases, they are good cases for doctors to abort.
Yes. But his sister felt very embarrassed to speak about it.
First one. Okay.
Akpahamu puno vinda mulo bi bulera chako jeno yala.
Ami vinda mulo yoda zora dabian ko ra zora because te ba kaleta ana puno de ana ban ngamre kanang la ban ay yala nirba ne dala ban bien azor dabian be vi bien.
That it happens that, for instance, if you are a girl, there's a stage that you have to get married with true wedding. So if it happened that somebody actually raped you somewhere and then you come back to say they've raped me and I'm pregnant, you find it very difficult. Certain times you are threatened and then you feel so embarrassed that you don't want the community to even know. So that actually caused the problem. The embarrassment was there and then the fear to even inform your parents too. And also the issue was that she was thinking that now if I say it, what will happen next?
Yeah.
The family will likely be not so very happy
That
with
is
the
the
story.
issue. That is the issue.
And do you? Yeah, I was just for this topic wondering now with the reflect circles going on in the community, does he think it's more easy for girls to speak?
Ban to kana ti dir fila zan chang lala ban yahar ngo polo ban nirba sani kar kumbal moksugo
Kama bin yala ban la biaw ban tuyal because upo ni nisman pakana shama alama gwam.
Yeah.
I'm saying that we take him and the youth there.
Yeah, that's. But then we need Geert.
No, maybe after you need me, Pierre.
The photographer.
So that you do that. Then no problem.
Oh, but he has to film it. Okay, well, then we will wait.
Yes. Can you ask him to clap in his hands once? A little bit higher. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Okay. He can talk to you.
Baku Nindo Kayizam Zona.
Okay, we can start.
Okay. Can he tell us what his name is and where he lives and how old he is?
I am Bola Yule. Kabol Tetensia Yina na Yuma. Na Yuma.
You born a Baku.
Bako Bumbo.
Baku Nindo. Kayizam Zona.
Ayuma.
Yala Yung King.
So Aqua and Pilma, I'm saying that he start and then bring it together. Aqua and Pilma, Yule Bako Nindo Zamzoka Yina. Yala Yung Pilma 50 years. So fine. He mentioned that 50, but it was not continuous.
Oh,
there were some breaks, so you just the chairman.
Yule Baku Nindo.
He can talk to
Kayizam Zona.
Go Yule Maka Yalmana, Yule Mane.
Like I do not exist.
You born a
Easier to
Baku
talk to
Nindo.
person.
Kayizam Zona. You Pino.
I'm Bakonindo. I'm from Zamzugo.
Zamzo.
And I'm 50 years old.
And what is his role in the community?
Young Bolenya Young.
Young chairman.
I'm a chairman, that is a community leader.
And what do you do as a community leader?
Kabolenya Tuma, I'm a chairman.
You're chairman. Come on, then you're Tuma. Chairman tell my view. Then you're Tuma. Come on, Stamban to Kanaki Kamomana. My young mother can put on Pamba. I be a poon of Bolma. Kankati my Bapur passer and Nachimba. Commanding your tune than that's all. If you have seen you cannot, but was Angolova can Angolova.
He's a community chairman, and then his roles are that when there are some developmental issues, he is the first person to be contacted, and his role does not have anything doing with political parties, even though they have political party chairman, but he is a chairman of the community. So if visitors are coming into the community like we are here, he will take us to the elders, then we say hi to them, then he will explain to them why we are there. And if they are bringing in a school here, if they are bringing in a clinic here, he is the first contact person. So on the issues of social issues, he's the contact person. But what is traditional, then is the chief and elders.
And what problems does he see in this community related to sexual and reproductive health and rights?
Akpahamba pune zanchante pa puhnam polo na pato pa dwaso twanam polo zanchante namater polo zanchanda dama dwabo polo. Ata no mosugo de lebe yango ka to mila anye chairman.
Mosugo bien. Domi ne ya mosugo bien ma. Pa punum ma. No mosugo bien. Nama ne ya bu mosugo bien ma. Dan kana man chairman si. Ande de tuya. Kanyem mi mun yan leba. Mpanzo. Yinda dan sang ba social na tetema kan yan yulba pa so nyala bola dotie di yan pa ka te yuna pa ponma na mi bunyan yitun na bu cham bu kin pare mala de ba yibi mala de ba na perle ntuna chan tama so mal ma mosu ku bishi.
According to chairman, he's saying that when it comes to social issues, he's the first contact person. So when Simle came with this project, he was the first contact person. So when they explained to him the issues of the SRAR issues, he was happy that they came. And actually they have plenty of problems, especially there used to be teenage pregnancy, but this time it's very low. Then also antenatal issues. And the antenatal issues are that they have pregnant women. You look at the population and then you look at the children that they have, definitely you know that they have plenty wives. So certain times the clinics are they are far away. They are about 2 miles. When we talk of mileage, they are about 2 miles from the community. So here certain times they find it very difficult, and their problems are about the antenatal. How their women can move to clinics is a big challenge and a problem to them. So these are some of the problems that he can pronounce.
And does he have any ideas how to overcome these challenges?
Na kan yulma moksuma atana wula ka tahayan tatin na tonon sham tagle be antana tonon sham tagle.
Ande man tabanya la yene mun yan tagle tama. Donc ne zang sham zang ti ne bor sham zang ti ya. Ke zang boluma be ke zang la tatama. Ne to zang bobu malbama karna ma fiyan yanga. So ntabu zaha kunya ye pan ye ma kan yan be mfang wo pune be yan lihirba mfang ma yin me zan gbe ma kan san ba shi.
Sorry.
So, according to chairman, he's saying that normally he depends on people like we here.
Speak with the government.
Ne anya chairman ma bahmanu. Anya chairman ma amun gwamnati nirba yito gbar shawara.
To gbar shawara. Bame bi kana yamo bi mancha. Le ku zan yamo ko shel den kan yan zan taba. Bame bamu bo ma ne bolle kan le bor yamo. Kan yan ne bor shel. Den yela ko mo yan zan taba. Den yela so wo yan zan taba. Den yela ka da ma shikuru wo da ma shikuru ma. Yela kan kum tu zula la ka ta ba tab shawara ha ka ta kana da ma den kana. Le kan nan do chamba.
That, for instance, he's going to give us information that when you are entering the community, you see a new school. It was through his negotiations with the district assembly that they brought that. And he's still talking to them about the road and then the clinic. Normally what he does is that when they come into the community, they have to talk to him because he's the first contact person when the politicians are here. So he has been negotiating with them, talking to them, doing some follow-ups. So these are some of the yields from the follow-ups. The school is there for us to see. And then for currently he's talking to them about the clinic and then the road. Actually, he don't have the power to do it unless he depends on people to do it for them. And normally he takes the information and then sends it to them. And it's regular meetings with them.
And does he think the government shows interest to
Ne
help?
karate na chante yer gwamnati nirma ba to zang da ba zaga nan da ya to ma polo.
Ba zang nan na. Ha shanga kan na shanga bu kan na. Shanga mun na bu kana.
He
Na
says,
yu de zo ba za be din na. Ka zo ka bi na ne mun kana.
it says as a politician they don't normally say no. They will say yes, but they will do some and then others they may not be able to fulfill. But he's happy that they are doing something.
Okay. Yeah. And what does he think are some good examples of the Simli project? What he thinks is working well?
Similar to my kanama, yell kamala de Zavia Polo, no Zavia den Kanyans and chance similar to my polo.
Sɛm tuma ma ŋun de dama mu luhu gba ka zaɣ viɛlli yaa sɛm tuma ma din kama na ma de dama mu sɔŋ tiŋa n bɛn mi yɛti di ŋarila noli man kpalim doya tiŋa ka la bɛmi sɛm tuma ma ni kama na yi zali ti shikuru ka zali ti paɣa duɣu tɔɣali ni mi paɣaya pam ka puhi pam shikuru maa ni kana yuŋ maa n yɛŋɔ bihi maa zaa n daa su bi shɛba zaa bi daa yi chɛni la yuŋ biɛɣu n daa yuŋ daa pa bi gbihira amaa shikuru maa ni kana bi so bi lahi chɛni shɛli.
What he's going to tell us is that with the similar project, he don't even know what to say because the help is there for everyone to see. For instance, they've trained.
Take safety in the chairman.
Hello. He should clap. Boss. Nakpahanu.
Oh.
It's okay. So he was still talking. Aria no la pardon so to.
Ne pardon to le ma shi. Yin zan ba san ma tana karpian yon ma na ma. Nin tirle.
Okay.
Na to na ba kana ti yelma ne kadama. Ngo o do ngo ka tin nan ngo. Bi be de ne. Pa yen do ko yi kana. Ko ti zam. Ai mun je be zam ka ku ka ko ti de. Kar yin yan. O kana mti ma chama ka wala ka ti yan. Mais to le nyata ma cha ti chan do te. Ba yin sonte. Ka ti chan ka pa ti ba.
He's saying that if you look at the training of the TBS, it's more effective in their community here, especially on the issue of referrals. that he's part of those who refer, because normally the TBA will not refer anybody without talking to him. They always call him, and then they say, Chairman, you try and get the husband of this lady to send her to clinic. So normally the referrals is being done between him and then the TBA. So he's in the consultation. So he's very happy about it. But before, they used to just do whatever they want, but this time now, they will talk to him and then also help.
When does he...
Can you ask him how it goes? Like that he gives this example that the woman comes to him and then they talk about it and then he goes to the father. Can you give this example?
TBA ma be pardon so trauma. Ayela never to man that shan to T Zawar Shelburne min malaka ne to T Karache Cabson or Changa Drotten. Be shower anama.
La shower ma but to man
then sunny can to T.
So into T la pastoral be chonha. So that it chant well na ye to amaje. What I am drama. Kazan le kana. Ka chant le. Into well na ye to ama. Into je. Bon well na ye to ama ti je. Ka ka ti yelma. But da bra kana tin ma de shawara. Da shawara ma dube tanyel. Ka tin ma la shawara ma. Kam go somba. Ka ti chan. Yo mo so so ne wa ma. Ben chatin mal kina de mo se tume. Da ma yi je de na to so. Akoto nya lura. Moto mo kan. To kan da namba jandi. Na ma betel lu pa les jours bien on tient doit te betel lu pa les jours là. T'es ici ama. Ka te la de che was on tient. Capte sointe. Da yi bi ma te.
That certain times he can give 3 examples. And certain times too is very difficult. He has to do the follow-ups himself. When there is a case of laboring, the TBS will consult him, and then after consultation, you go to that particular house to see that lady. Then you talk to the husband, and then they will negotiate and see how they can send the woman to clinic. And he said some time ago they called him and it was midnight, around 12 a.m. So he came and then it was very difficult for them to send. So he has to prepare himself and then follow them up to the main road. And then fortunately they had a taxi. And he's saying that the means of transport is their problem here. And with the referrals, if they refer you and then you can walk to the chief's compound, you do so. If you cannot, they encourage the young or the youth to put you on a motorbike or bicycle to the clinic. So it has been happening that he has witnessed that for 3 times. Even his own son had the same problem. So,
and can he give some examples when he and the TBA refer women to the hospital, in what kind of situations?
Kama akpahambu puna wula kara yita para ka TBA ma be paradox to ma be amen bayan no chama shiptene. Yita para wula kina yelbala.
Yita pata me ayim mo amoptiji. Ka bangarashi be ba mal de bansam kya. Yituya ka dans le tien. Donc il était well limité. Ka te wum de la pas de ce maga. Ka wum pas de retournement. On voyait vos bansam te parler. Donc ça yin ban le pompon wala. An zan bansam te passer ma. Keme te yel chama ka ka te yel ma. Ka to pompon te zan te bansam te passer ma. Le tu le te basan le medu. Sambane. Ka ba magate te sonte. Nyela la shihara.
That normally what they do is that when it comes to
that somebody from the hospital or CHIPS compound comes here for the delivery?
Ne the tono the can nesen ma shab kan na pe into song dia zan chang dox ma polo.
Bakana te song na te.
They do come.
Bamu kalma na mbaya yete bi mun watuna. Banda te tunda ko zan san pa ya pa do te mo pe. Te la bo yete bi te ba. Ka mun watuna.
Boko nang de ne.
oi chang ni mana bo to tir ba mutima
yi bisong tum
mun tum ni ma mun ban tum
boko nang da
bo to tima ni mana
okay
mun to tima ni mana ma ni di tin nan ko kana ti yelma ni di yitin nan biso yimun don ka so ti parti le biso on to pitima to malpo katana so fara.
That when they first came with the chiefs compound to the community, what they did as a community, especially the chairman, negotiated with the health authorities, and they said they should attach their peer educator to the chiefs compound so that they can give them first aid, which will be with the peer educator, so that in case there's something in the night where the clinic is not operating, they can give the first aid. So even with the condoms that they talked of, so it's that same fellow that they give those condoms to. So because of that person there, they have contacts with them. So normally it's very easy for them to refer and then talk to them through their peer educator.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And can he tell us what the biggest changes are that he sees in the community since the start of the project?
Tarabokanya zan chantong ko pil tuma ma yon.
Yin ko pil la tuma ni ya ta ba shi. Ni ya ta ba pa.
Okay.
Pa do ko to no ma shi ya. Ni ya ta ba. Da ma bizar yino kam. Bizar yino kam na ba die pa pu na. O ba do. Bizar yino kam na ba die biya ka bi ma pi. Yin zan tuma wana tabbare. Muni in ci cabul ma wala bi tunda bi shi ko ta kati mai so me taba tunda bi shi ka ta to in kan ma bai za na kula yina na bu gumla to da ta mutuma na wadam nan na ci ma yung ma ken ma.
He says that for instance he can say nowadays they register or they write names of those who delivered, even hospital or at home, they have the records there that indicate that they were actually trained. And then also the TBA, since they were trained, they've not failed in their deliveries or referrals. He has never seen any complaint. And the peer educator talking to peers, normally peers don't want to listen to what they don't want. But he has never heard that there's any argument between that person and then their peers. So he's happy that the guy know how to control himself and he's talking to them well. So he's happy about those things, that these are the changes that he has seen.
And in what activities did he participate himself?
Ne pompon bone ka ato pa piar yon shukurma be tunde na ka tunda sunle tumama polo.
Ngba kwe yon shukurma. Ne yen kwe la ma da ma ngba boni yite zangban tama kan babang le. Zo cha bu wo ma bia ba. Dit la zangban to sa nan yi.
He's saying that as a chairman, he's also an elder in the chief's compound. So, for instance, they will bring something and say, chairman, sign, and he cannot sign. But this time he can sign because of the reflex effect. So, he can sign. And then, for instance, to the boy, the peer educator is young.
Yeah.
So, he cannot talk to elderly people. So, he normally does that.
Okay, yeah.
Because there are some messages that the peer educator cannot give to the elders. So he, being an elder, can talk to them.
So he also said on tape, on the video, that he learned to sign. To sign.
Yeah, that's why he said he can sign and then did this way.
And can he explain somebody who doesn't know what reflect is, what it is about, how does it go, what does he learn?
Can he explain?
Yeah. Let's say you don't know what reflect is. If he can explain to you how it works, what they do.
Yung shukuro. En yeba mile ka en yelma yen nang de le shambe yen pin le sham wula ka en yelma samle na zang yung shukur shalma na cycle ma.
Ai ba mile. Kam mi chende ne kayen toha.
Yen nang de sham. Yen pin de le sham na ha te karanda.
Te karanda. Nam ne to tosa.
Okay.
To ya simle ne ta ban shawon wala ma afana panko silon mana yo pa mama mbe ya ne sal mbe ya ne sun twan pa mama ka kana tinya tin nan shel bian sanni agba kuro ne bidin ka kana ka tabdule karnan ta afan.
The first of all, he starts with talking to people to get a role in the circle by advising them that it's good if people are together. That means there's unity. You have to come and join and see what actually we are doing there. So first he talked to people, advise them to come closer to the circle and then see the circle activity. Kanima na yiye no karma wula kipinda.
Yin karma. Inde ku kana tete karma. Tabo yoro fu. Tina ko la dwa po intina wona. Sa kana ya ci jama ko fu ti pe na o mi ma. Bang ta yan ya sha. Ku muna so so yoro ma. O yen nan shem tetama na nan sonte. Kata ba mu dole biara biara.
He's saying that normally what they do is that the facilitator is not a teacher. He tells them what they all do and then they all contribute small their ideas. Then they come together and then learn. It's not that he teaches them as to what to do, but they bring together the small ideas that they have. So that's what he said.
And what people are allowed to participate in the circle? Everybody of the community?
So come to know be circle man be shaba.
So come to know be den.
If you want to be part of it.
You can participate. And how many people of his community participate?
Ban be te karango shi. Don mo misi ma.
Kadagban le nirba la.
Wo te gasia.
That for now he has not taken the pain to know the number, but there are many.
Many. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm you going to let you zama. Te yon de pora. Ama te gasia bien ma. You know what you got him.
Yeah, he's saying that even if they are saying they should contribute each person from every house, then the number will be great. So
yeah. Okay. And is it men and women or only men?
It's mixed. They will have Muslims and they have Christians.
Okay. And men and women.
They are mixed.
Okay. That's nice. And if you participate a year in Reflect, a whole year, what do you know at the end?
Nekama be circle ma yumune boka yan ba da nyanga.
I could be circle ma yumun. Uncle Bashel. I be in Kaikulu Bashel. I'm a young boy, and she had been China. Be Akulu Ba, Mangban to 7 years.
That if you don't get any benefit at all, you can write your name and you can identify your name, and that alone can help you.
And regarding knowledge, next to the writing?
Tonere nyanga sabma nyanga bolela pai.
Sabma nyanga. I sabma.
I bwan sabma nyanga bokala habang de para.
I bwan sabma nyanga.
You learn how to approach.
How to approach.
Come on,
what does it mean?
I ban sabumanya. To sa han sable simisile ma to bon simisile. Ndola la sabuma be to boa simisile ngokale don anto ba.
Saying that, for instance, if you learn how to read and write, that means you can read signposts and other things. And that means if you are going to some place, you can identify, and it helps. And also, you see writings, and you can identify it to your own understanding. So that helps them a lot. So na hankal dem ki la gbara de pune.
Dalade karma pune.
Circle man.
Te gbara hankal pam de pune. Da metimi na yi dolle. Kar yi pya joti ya.
He's saying that I wanted to prove further. He's saying that developmental issues always come from the circle. They talk about development of the community, so that is where they get the developmental issues.
And do they also talk during the circle about like reproductive
ne
topics?
yung karma karabu to yere zan chang pagamnu do polo doabo polo zambo polo be po yebo na papulie to abeto to asria
be to sete
den sane
be to sete de pa yina be sa pa ka zon woni ai zon woni ta ba lawo de tu ne de nya gala de dan yi bu mu ka to hale wula ka de to la zakal ma ba.
It says that you see a fruit that is not ripe and you pluck it from the tree, it's an offense. So they, at the reflex circle, they let them know that when a child is not up to 18 or the law age and you have sex with the child, you are in trouble because it's not ripe yet and you pluck it, so that they are aware that it's part of it. And then they've also been talking to them about pregnant women, antenatal and then postnatal issues.
And does he think men have a role in when a woman is pregnant in assisting her? Or
ne do ne to song parawe malpwa akpahambo puno song senden ko en song
Apparemment, il mal pour. Quand il y a une maman par mal, pour mal pour. Et un tout son.
Wula kan song.
On dit mal pour. Quand il voit un peu de chantier, dans la carmane, un bon char d'une douane qu'à douane de douane chien. Un tout beau là. Les gens se parment. Aux gens qui ont droité. Un peu ça. Bon, bon char. On tout file le remarque.
You, if you are a local person, you know you have fowls. Then you have to spare some eggs for your pregnant wife.
yeah, talking to youth about sexuality.
Ka dina na pahanu. Dina karnyela didde bebden kama Muhammad awal na makaba yat tabsan chang pakane do lakambo ne condom nangbo ne banywane awum ne wula de moksa be do kumoksa.
Ne wumle de mosma.
Wula so.
To din ya mosma shel. Nyala bi yer la. Kondom kab ye boa. Bo man bi ponse yer ngo bi bo man bi blefin yer ngo. To ya to pahin to. Kondom ngo ma. Din to nan dalire. Ka yel la ye docteur bilema. On to ji kondom ma na tata. Jomi ya kake.
He's saying that
Is that difficult? Are there difficulties?
Kayul les anchang adine polo de malmoso be adine ya anta bansam tabzan chang dor bambra dem be la ben ya harma polo.
Adine de babien.
The religion supports that.
Okay.
Ne ya babien ma adine polo. Be yana te zom le biela biela.
They are saying that we should avoid adultery and then we should avoid sex. It's because of distance.
The STIs.
And then protect ourselves. And protect ourselves from teenage pregnancy.
Yeah.
And then the teenagers should also protect themselves from pregnancies.
Yeah.
So that means the religion supports whatever we are doing.
Yeah. And what is his opinion about family planning?
Ka dogar ganden be family plan and wula ka yundele. Be to the dogar be pamai a pambu pono wula ka yun.
Pambu pono ay dogar be ma pam. Kam shetra borba ma pam. Den danye dadam sile. Kanye dadam.
Plenty children here before they count you as a rich person, and it was part of our property. But nowadays, if you have children, it's a burden, so you have to reduce them accordingly. Other than that, you have burden. It's not like before.
Yeah.
To ni ye yele za fa mama. The fire tila ka yai.
Currently, the strength is not there, and they don't have the finances.
Alan do be pa. Apparemment lan ka ya ngoni buluba. ba mama lan ka ya den yulba ami fa ba sa tan to shikuru fees ni nyanga.
That if you send all your children to school, they cannot even go to school because you cannot pay their school fees. So why not just give birth to few and then look after them?
And what ways of family planning are used in the community?
Ata puna te chongo dogar gandan be wula ka te tagar le wula ka te tagar lo ngona tele van la tima be te sur la ben yahare be te ku chairman
ni nyele shem te pena dogar gandan de yele be tote ama kato no ni yele be tote ma tamshel dira be te ko bin dogar gandan ma apa nda yi dogar kar mosi anto bambu nyen no shem ka lebo dogar ma ko bla dogar
bayo tugunda ma bahmanu to
dira be te san ama pumpon de ya te san dinde apanda yi dogar kar mosi wonyen dogar kar mosi anto ya ba waya haka wuya ka tiyan na abama mi so hali shel
hey de saya bye bye
wa mi so hali shel yan na ka pa ma do sakse beta bi bi ko ne sa kam she dira bien la ama zongo de baragate ni de la lambien na zongo me chan doate ka doate wo mo nya ma bi mo le ci bo sheka ke do bon na be bon ato yulu.
He's saying that some time back ago, their grandparents used to have some herbs that they can support in family planning. They give it to a woman and then maybe she'll stop giving birth. But this time it's very easy because the clinics are there. And you can meet the nurses or the doctors and explain to them, and then they'll give you medicine or the protection, or they will advise you as to what to do. So this time it's very easy. It's not like before because they don't even know what their grandfathers were using. So now the alternative is the clinics.
I don't know if it's well on the camera because the child was crying, or should we repeat it?
We can do it again. That's maybe smart.
Maybe you could.
Your family plan ma ye toama ando ku yel shama za habima no kuma de pela de ne.
Ni ye family plan ma za. Ni ye family plan ma de jela. Ma den kan de en to ha de ye shama. Family plan ma tam shel de la yi kan ama pumpon de bien. De bien. To sama ai borle. Inde bol la family plan ma anto yel anzel docteur le sola on to bol na on tanti ba mo bol ma bi anya na ma anto tan la kay na bu gum na doro so come to mali usa.
He has added that like he did mention
for the community for the future
na pa no me be ayi yon Tiadin Kamal Zantira, young on the Chantone, be Amborna, young to be Shambiana.
What? Then Kalanin, the more Mamma had the Kalanin. Aya, Manda could burn young shop. Aya, you don't show my aya than Jella. Show my Malvia. Nympho Mark and Bishon, you put tab and Shala. Can you want to chant to be a cup by one?
That he's thinking that in future, from the main road to this place will be tied. Buildings down there, nice buildings. And they are happy that they will have a nice community.
Mama, you Kerama. You ain't come meeting the chicken, Kulakamba. I don't Pala. Way Yama. Be that a bunker and Pama and Jabba Quarum.